Okay, it's Beer O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I'm joined by Ekroth from Sixpoint Brewery out in America, New York City. Yep.
At what had been at one time a factory for filing cabinets, I think. All of our initial beers were brewed in this 800 square foot garage. So it definitely offered us a lot of challenges getting going. Some of our earliest beers included beers like Sweet Action.
Yep, I know. Really good beer.
Sweet Action, the Bengali Tiger. We actually came up with the name for that while playing video games. So that was kind of a fun idea. We noticed the lacing on the glass kind of resembled tiger stripes.
That is unbelievable. So you've been there right from the start.
I actually have been friendly with the brewers since before Sixpoint began.
Yeah.
But I came on working with Sixpoint as essentially the chief storyteller in the last few years. So
fantastic,
yeah.
Fantastic. So did you go from at the very start? Did you go from selling casks and kegs to pubs, and then did you start bottling, or did you go straight into cans?
We actually, for most of our history, were draft only. So packaged beer is a relatively recent thing for us. In the early days, we were hand delivering and hand distributing beers directly to individuals, directly to bars.
Yeah.
I think our founder, Shane Welch, his very first beer delivery was to an individual, and after pulling the keg out of his car and into this person's home, he returned and there was a $150 ticket or something on his car. So we had some learning to do as it came to distribution.
Yeah.
But we're really excited to be able to be reaching as far as Cardiff here.
Oh, within Cardiff, we're in the UK, you've brewed a beer with Adnams. It's a collaboration with Adnams. This is Make It Rain.
Make It Rain is a beer we brewed exclusively with Adnams. We actually at this time don't even offer this in the US. So it was a really fun project for us to be able to come over and to step into the tradition of real ale, which is something that exists in the US but not like it does here.
Yeah, and the reason Aaron's here today is that Sixpoint have released a range of beer in Wetherspoons. I am extremely excited because a couple of years ago I reviewed Sixpoint's core range of beers, and it took me it was a monumental effort to get the beers over to the UK. Now I can walk down in Barry, where I live, or in Cardiff, which is just 7 miles away. I can come in, I can grab the Crisp, the Sweet Action, Bengali Tiger, and is there one more?
Well, for right now we're offering the Make It Rain as our cask offering. So 4 beers essentially from Sixpoint that you'll be able to see at the Wetherspoon Network. Yeah.
So UK viewers, you're watching this, get to your Wetherspoons, get some Bengali Tiger, get some of the Crisp, and get some Sweet Action. It's really good beers. I have a few more questions.
Sure.
The 5 Points. Tell me about the 5 Points.
Well, 5 Points is a traditional neighborhood in Lower Manhattan. Where we pull our name from actually is the hallowed brewing guilds and unions.
And that's the, I apologize, the 5 stars. I've gone straight in.
It's a question that we get a lot. What is the whole 6 points thing?
Yeah.
What does that refer to? So there's something in the German brewing tradition called the Brauerstern, the brewer's star, and that's a 6-pointed emblem that you'd see hanging outside of breweries or a lot of times taverns and pubs in the Germany region. So we drew some inspiration from that tradition, and then where we're located in Brooklyn is a traditional shipping area. So longshoremen, if you ever saw the film On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando, that's the neighborhood where we operate. So we drew inspiration from what's called a nautical star, which is a 5-pointed star.
Right.
And we essentially blended those two traditions together to be relevant to where we were based, and then also to give some deference to the long, hallowed brewing tradition that we greatly respect and now get to find ourselves as a part of. So that's where Sixpoint Brewery got its name.
On the subject of craft beer generally, it's difficult to kind of gauge where craft beer is in America. How is the craft beer scene in 2014 in America? It must be growing on.
It's a thrilling community to be a part of. The craft beer, the interest in craft beer, I think, has probably never been stronger. And so for us, our entire trajectory is all about constantly pushing ourselves to create new formulations. You know, there's a lot of buzzwords, different types of beers that are being kind of held up as models for the craft beer business.
Bengali Tiger.
Certainly, well, you mentioned certainly the IPA style. It's something that people have a lot of interest in, both in the US and internationally. Here in the UK, I've noticed a lot of interest in it. So for us, we're always trying to push ourselves to see what is it that we really appreciate about craft beer, what is it that we can offer to the craft beer community, and ultimately we want to provide a value to our fans and then anyone who is interested in craft beer. So,
yeah. Fantastic. It's great to get you over here in the UK. It's great to get the interview. I have one final question for you, and that is, you've brought a can of craft beer over for me to review in the future. It's in Aaron's car. Is it Three Beans? Is it Autumn Nation? What have you brought me to review, and what can you look forward to on the channel?
Sure. Well, I could leave you on tenterhooks, but we recently brewed a renewed permutation of our resin beer. So some of you out there might be familiar with resin, very hop forward, 9% IPA style, strong beer, as you say here. We went one further and created a beer called High Res. So High Res is 11.1% alcohol, 111 bitter units, IBUs, and I'd be really excited to see what you think of it.
High five.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Thanks to Aaron for coming all the way over to here in the UK, with Adnams, with Wetherspoons in the UK. Thanks for Aaron to joining me. Real Ale Craft Beer on YouTube. Put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe to our daily beer reviews, and cheers.
Beer is culture.
Beer is culture.